But you know, I was trying to figure out a different plan and I couldn't think of it. Let's keep this. We can go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Unmarked Grave for Archon, turn 3 Unmarked Grave for Rites, and then get an Archon and play on turn 4, which isn't the best curve, but it's probably keepable. And white with Sprawl. Well, one thing we can't beat is Infinite Life. This is Enchantress, though. I have 2 Sanctum Weavers. We have Wear Tear in our sideboard. We have Serra's Emissary naming enchantments, which wins if they're off the Emrakul plan. Does anybody know if Enchantress is still on the Emrakul plan or not? Do you think Enchantress is underplayed? Maybe a little bit. Why not a salty version of this deck like Goryo Classification? Well, because the Goryo's Classification deck doesn't work with Unmarked Grave, because Goryo's only gets back legendary creatures and Persist Unmarked Grave only gets back non-legendary, so that just like as a very, very different version. This is, you know, I think much stronger. Usually on that or Sigil. Is there any way, I mean, if we see Sigil, do we just know that they're not playing Emrakul? Is that just a guarantee? Oh, Archon of Cruelty also beats this card beats their Solitary Confinement because it's life loss. And this card's so good. Might need to draw Persist this turn. We can get, again, Rites with Grave. And Destiny Spinner might just kill us too. I guess even like protection from enchantments doesn't beat it doesn't beat the Sanctum anyways. Well, we have the white source for Rites at least. MCL's been amazing. Yeah, like, or you mean Seal of Fire? I think it's cool, yeah. I'm into it. Is all that Unmarked Grave targets Rites Archon Cling? Yeah. Is that like not plenty? It feels like plenty to me. Don't at me with Lingering Souls, please. Okay, hopefully they don't have a third Seal of Fire to kill my Archon. Okay, we can Prismatic Ending that though. Gorios, meaning only about the color of the deck instead of Sultai, white, black for more control as top end. Well, I think the rock plan plays way better with than the control plan. I've tried a controlling version that was just blue black over. Oh, I don't know what you're playing green for, but I tried a more controlling version of the deck and I felt like this was better. Sanctum Weaver is pretty good here. I wonder if they're gonna keep that or Sithis. Oh no! Whoops. Okay, tough game. I'm not sure how bad this matchup is though. Probably not that good. We get to bring in the Wear Tears, cut the Cling to Dust probably, cut the Brutality. I think 1 dam is probably fine as like a tutor target. I don't think I want Voidwalker. I don't think I want Serra's Emissary. I don't think I want a second dam. Everything else is fine though. What was the issue? So yeah, Sterling Grove made their Onthanize hexproof, so we couldn't Prismatic Ending the Onthanize. Oh, sorry, Shroud, not hexproof. That's my opinion on Rotting Register as a budget version for Liliana the Veil and Phyrexian Arena as a 1-of for card draw. I think that those are both going to be like pretty underpowered, but you can try it out. How important is Serra Visions and Blue-Red Murktide? Not really important at all, but I don't think it's like, I would not recommend splashing black for Inquisition at all. I don't think, but I don't think you need to play Serra Visions. I've been playing one I've been playing Murktide without Serra Visions. Play 4 Archmage's Charm. One more dam over Liliana? Maybe. I guess we can keep this. A little slow though. Also a bit awkward that we can't Prismatic Ending like Utopia Sprawl on turn 1. Okay, pretty happy they don't have it though. I would love to find just like 2 lands off the top, go turn 4, Unmarked Grave, Persist. It's also really bad if we draw our Archon. I guess we can actually, like, if we draw 1 land, we can tutor up Thoughtseize ourselves, and then Persist Archon. Oh man, feels so good to have Prismatic Ending here. And again, this is just like a huge reason to play this deck, right? This is a huge reason to play this version, is that you just have so many answers to lock pieces. Whereas like any other version of Reanimator is gonna like really struggle. Ooh. Is it good? I think I just need to get Thoughtseize. We can Prismatic Ending this next turn. You have Hull Breacher in the Sea Monster EDH deck? No. I have a budget of $100 for the deck. And 10 of those dollars are for Great Whale. A deck tech for Panda. Yeah, Portable Hole also worked, but just like, I mean, either way, it's going to be very similar, Portable Hole versus Prismatic Ending. It's just like apples and oranges a little bit, or sorry, apples and apples. Esper Shadow. I feel like 4 counterspells in your deck that's playing 3 Godless Shrine, 1 Plains, 1 Swamp, 3 Silent Clearing is... You got to change this mana base a lot. You have to be base. You have to be more base blue, which I think is I think is going to be very difficult for you to do. But it just is what you have to do. And it's probably their mana is probably not going to be very good. I also don't like Vindicate. I think you need more cheap interaction. Experts say it's kind of good against Urza Saga. Map 13, no, sorry, it's bad against Urza Saga. But map 60 months, welcome back. All right, also +1 for Prismatic Ending here, by the way. Yeah, it feels like you're playing way too many 3-drops in this variant. Probably just doesn't work to play like all the black 1-mana spells, double blue on 2, white on 3. So you need to probably like not play Ranger Captain, not play Counterspell. Gotta choose. Or maybe just accept your mana is gonna be bad, which has always been Esper Shadow's reality. I don't think you want the 4th Teferi in the sideboard. I think you want some Chalices in the sideboard. You probably want to be able to Chalice on 0. Is Donation League something you do again, or still taking time out? I'm still taking time out. They'll come back at some point, I think, but I'm really just enjoying doing my own thing. I think it's what's best for the stream at the moment too, and I'm still considering it, but I just think I'm gonna still be doing my own thing. You also maybe just play Drown over Counterspell. 23 lands is also like just kind of awkward, but I get why you're doing it. I like this hand. Vindicate's real good in this matchup. They have so many like enchant lands. Well, my opponent has never read the card Veil of Summer before. I'm pretty sure. Alright. Not the strongest hand. I just need to take the rest in peace. Well, if they get Sterling Grove before Sithis, it's kind of a problem, though. I guess we have Wear Tear for it, but they do play Sithis instead. It's a good draw. Let me just go ahead and use that. Wear Tear is definitely, of course, a premium card in this matchup. So we know their hand is Presence, Sphere of Safety, Sterling Grove. If they miss their land drop, we'll just Vindicate them, I think. The Utopia Sprawl, their land will Vindicate their land. Is that my natural hair color? No, so I dyed my hair pink as part of the million channel point redemption option. And it's just kind of faded now. Ever thinking of making a modern archetype tier list? Haven't thought too much about it, I guess. Not opposed to the idea. Amon Hannibal, thank you for your subscription, buddy. Appreciate ya. No! No! Brutal. What a swing. Second Sterling Grove would be so bad, too. No, we still haven't done. I've still been lazy / busy. A little bit of a combination of those two things. I haven't done the second redemption option yet, but we'll do them at some point. Okay. Hold on. Is it? You just put bean dip in a tortilla?
Cheese and the taco.
Okay. Fine. Actually good, actually. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. I mean, it's just like Taco Bell, but...
Taco Bell.
Yeah. Okay, we won anyways, but boy, that Veil of Summer was brutal. Alright, you just don't really ever mulligan Persist Unmarked Grave 2 lands in the blind on the play. Yeah, Archon of Cruelty is nuts. This card is really strong. Between blue, red, and black, red monkey lists that you're playing, which would I suggest for on paper? I would suggest the black red one at the moment. And I as far as worst matchups go, like the big strength to both of these decks is neither of them have like truly terrible matchups, and then you have a lot of flexibility as far as like sideboard options, you know. But for black red, it's probably Enchantress. So I'm not really even sure what it is for blue red. What deck am I having the most fun playing? Probably the Demi-Lich deck. I think that deck's good too. I think I've kind of figured out that deck is kind of intended, or like it feels like its role in the metagame is to be really good against the Dragon Rage's Channeler Darcy decks. Probably playing as Rhinos here, right? Should probably Vindicate this turn. If they have Force of Negation, I would kind of like to not just run the Persistent to that. Maybe I could draw a discard spell and then just like triple Vindicate. I feel like this plan is gonna buy us some time. How does this deck win if someone gets rid of your win condition? It doesn't. But there are very few decks that could just like totally get rid of all your Archons, and like of like all the top decks in the metagame, I think like just none of them can permanently get rid of them game one. It is Rhinos. And like it's like the main way people have to kill Archon is like Unholy Heat, Terminate right now, and you could just persist it again. And the top blue-red region list from Shadow Spree seems insane in the meta. Well, it's kind of a little awkward on the mana base, but I'm a fan of that card in the deck, of course. Yogg can? I mean, yeah. No, Yogg, it can't exile Archon. It just kills Archon. Terminus puts it in the deck, it doesn't exile it. And also, like, Miracles is not a top deck at the moment. If you were building your deck with Miracles in mind, I think you're building it wrong. They didn't ice me? They fired me? What? That's kind of unreal. Yeah, but Miracles is not a top modern deck at the moment. But it's also like, again, like their Terminates put the card on the bottom of your library, which is very different. Vindicate again, I think. Black White Ponza, yeah. But the blue-red list is Jace Mind Sculptor playable. I really like him, to be honest. Well, I think you were being honest. Like, I understand, like, that's, like, the main reason that you might want to play Jace, you know? You really want to play Jace in your deck. But they didn't tap my Godless Shrine. They tapped their island. They didn't tap at my upkeep. I don't know what's going on. I don't hate having other win conditions. I don't either, but I also had the same thought, of course. Like, I also had the same thought, like, that I would be interested in playing other win conditions in this deck. But any other win conditions in the main deck just didn't seem worth it to me. I did try to figure it out, but I didn't really feel like there was any that were screaming to me that they were going to be what we wanted. So if people, you know, when people are saying like, hey, I think this deck needs to play more win conditions, it's way more helpful if you can say, hey, I think this is the win condition you need to play. And, you know, maybe this is asking too much, but maybe also this is what you can cut to make room for it. Because I couldn't figure it out. But Lingering Souls in here, I don't think Lingering Souls is that good. It is an option. It is an Unmarked Grave target, albeit not a very good one. What would you cut for it? I feel like the deck list is pretty tight, to be honest. I don't think Hammer Time is well positioned. I think Hammer Time is one of the best decks in Modern at the moment. My opinion is one of the best decks in Modern. So I think with the Dams over Prismatic Endings, with the Chalices, Vindicate's kind of bad on the draw, maybe. We went to Voidwalker. Voidwalker's kind of good against Rhinos. Yeah, I think on the draw I'll play Voidwalker. On the play I'll play Vindicate again. Maybe I just don't want Vindicate at all though. Liliana's maybe not that good either. They can petty theft Serra's Emissary. I guess I could name Instant. Collective out. I think I maybe don't mind the first one. The discard's kind of nice. Yeah, Profane Tutor plus Chalice, definitely a bit of a nombo. Although you could Profane Tutor for Chalice. Not nothing. I think this hand's a mulligan on the draw. This hand's great. I'm not a fan of Tutor. I mean, Tutor is the worst card in the deck, obviously. Obviously, Profane Tutor sucks. But I think that it's necessary to have enough consistency with your combo. It's also definitely true. Well, that's brutal. It's also definitely true that you know, it's nice that on turn 4 the suspend comes down and then they have 2 Escape guys. Oh, we need to draw. Oh, I cited out my Vindicates. Okay, well we're gonna bring those back in. I guess we're just dead. Yeah, I forgot that they had Leyline. Silly to forget that. My opponent might miss their land drops though. Cool. You can play Void Mirror instead of Chalice as like a budget option. So I type 13 months, appreciate ya. So if they miss their land drop for like a couple turns, then we can hardcast Archon and get there. A force pitch Brazen Borrower. No, I changed the sideboard. I added Wear Tear to the sideboard. Why no Triumph? I think the tap land matters more than like the mana fixing. I have a Blood Crypt instead, which I think is better. Do I cast Unmarked Grave? They have another. They're playing Charm in their deck? I think I cast Unmarked Grave just to thin my library a bit. Just put another Grave in exile. Need to bring Vindicates back in. Oh, is Dimulich match up with Hammer Time? I think it's fine. You have like a ton of good sideboard cards, and the Gutshot Lava Darts are solid too. I think it's fine. Your resolve? Liliana of the Veil, you're going to resolve? They draw another force. In the scenario that we want to put Chalice on the sideboard, I think we scrub Tutors, maybe one Liliana for other options. Yeah, maybe. I think I'm down to maybe cut Profane Tutors. But it's also true, like, Profane Tutor tutoring up Chalice in this matchup's not bad. Well, I think I missed this thought earlier, but Profane Tutor exiting Suspend on turn 4 is really good, because on turn 4 you can go Persist Unmarked Grave. But I do think that you need the Tutors to like have a degree of consistency in this deck. So I kind of want to just get up to 8 lands here. The Dam is not bad though. The Dam is not bad. I think I'm going to discard it. No, let's just discard the Archon. We have Voidwalkers in the deck now as win conditions. Or just never finding their land. My opponent just hates casting ice on my upkeep. They just like absolutely are allergic to it. I don't think I'd say that no befits. I think I'm gonna. It's kind of risky, but I kind of like discarding Dam so I can play Ultimate Liliana, play another one next turn. No, I'll keep the Dam. Just need to be able to clean up the rhinos. Yeah, Canonist doesn't stop Shardless Agent, which is a big problem with the card. See if they finally draw their third land here. They don't. Oh, I forgot to ultimate or activate Castle. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna plus activate Castle, pass. Keeping the Lily in play post ultimate's kind of nice. They brought in Leyline of Sanctity too. What a weird game this has been. Don't they have Borrow in hand? No, they pitched it to Force earlier. They might have. It seems like maybe they just drew it though. Seems like they drew another one. Maybe not. I'm gonna put Triumph versus Breeding Pool Leyline. Why not activate first? Yeah, you lose less life if you discard the Profane Tutor here. But they did draw? There's no way they drew Petty Theft. Voidwalker first? Maybe. I don't think I'm gonna cast Leyline of the Void though. Okay. What a weird game. Then they need to draw 2 lands before they can rhinos. Why didn't they do that before Lily ulted? I mean, my opponent has made my opponent just has been playing really weird with their fire ices, and you know, by weird I guess I just mean incorrectly. Why not lands versus Leyline? I mean, the Leyline isn't doing that much against our current hand, and I really want to. I would love to Stone Rain them here because I want to keep them off the rhinos. Just kill them with my Voidwalkers, right? If they rhinos, you can rhinos. Not if they rhinos at like instant speed, end of turn with their Violent Outburst. Castle Locthwain putting in work too. Oh, the best draw. Nice. Yeah, opponent definitely getting very unlucky. They kept a 2-lander. Unlucky to just like straight up never draw a land. But check out Blue White Urza Kappa. I mean, I'll take a look if you'll link it. I like Blue White Urza decks, which has like, you know, ruined my overall win rate forever. Which again doesn't matter that much. Also, the mono black version of this, I think this is better. Like the big appeal to this strategy, in my opinion, is the ability to. It takes Serra Visions this turn. The ability to be able to answer your opponent's lock pieces with Prismatic Ending and Vindicate seems so strong to me. But I don't think a mono black version is totally unreasonable. Meat Pop 13, welcome back, appreciate ya. Did I see it? Did I see it? I don't know. All right, Braille, if you could post your link in chat for me to take a look at, I will. But I can't copy paste from my view here. So I think I discard Unmarked Grave because I'm kind of worried about my opponent double bolting my Liliana. I don't hate some man lines like Vince. Yeah, I mean, you could. I think you could play Steam. I think you could do that. I think you could also play. I think you could also pretty easily play the new D&D man lands. I think that those would be totally fine. I'm just not sure what's the best necessarily. Dude, them drawing a 1-mana creature as sack fodder is really good. Maybe we'll top deck Prismatic Ending. I guess. I guess not, huh? So we have 4 Vindicates and 2 more Lilianas as outs to this. The Urza deck. Don't think we need Blood Crypt. I get 2 looks. Could also draw like Persist plus Unmarked Grave. Where's the Supreme Verdict? Were Chalice. This is cool. I was kind of hoping it was going to be like with the new 2-mana 1/1 that deck, or like more like creature based, but it's cool. I guess we technically have one more look, but we're just like so dead if they ever draw lightning bolts. Lightning bolts, man. Well, their top decks definitely line up well against ours, but so is the plight of the of the discard deck, huh? Let's bring in Dam. Let's bring in Serra's Emissary, I think. Serra's Emissary on creatures seems to be probably very good against them. They're gonna bring in Lanterns. We have Prismatic Endings for these. I want to go. I guess I actually probably want these Chalices, and we could go like cut all the Thoughtseizes. Maybe I want to cut the Cling to Dust if I'm going to cut all the Chalices. Or Profane Tutor is kind of a lot. I think I'll just keep 1 Chalice in. Seems pretty good. Here's a Saga, works really well with Sun Titan. Keepable hand. I think keepable. Is keeping life better than discarding Murktide on IOK versus Seas? Well, I have 4 Thoughtseize. In this matchup, it's better to keep the life. But we have 4 Thoughtseize in the main 3 Inquisition for that purpose. But again, in this matchup, I'm of the opinion that your life total matters way more. I think. I could be wrong. Because answering Murktide's also nice, but we have like so many more answers to Murktide post board. Steam Vents in the graveyard. I think I'm just supposed to fire off Unmarked Grave here. Bit bad if they draw a Relic though, or sorry, Soul Guide Lantern. I guess it's also true that we have 4 mana, so maybe like, well, I guess this rewards us a bit. Thoughts on Silver Bullets, like Voidwinter, Sundering Titan, or Massacre Worm. I think all of those are worse than Archon or Serra's Emissary. Like against creature decks, Serra's Emissary is gonna be much better. Also, Archon's better against creature decks. Voidwinter, like what matchup is that specifically good against? Like I think you want to have a really good idea when you bring in a card like Voidwinter. I think we're just gonna try to Rites this Archon. Probably have drawn a counter spell though. But now we have Persist, so maybe we could draw a discard spell. They put a Canal into the graveyard. Yes, and kind of just the same thing. Just like these options seem worse than your other options. Now I think Fleet Swaller has finally been powered out of the metagame. Titan seems amazing since you get access to Kitchen Finks against creature decks. That is a sentence. Amazing. For Kitchen Finks. So they counter this, will Persist. If they don't counter it, we'll just suspend Profane Tutor. Then maybe we get to like, you know, grab a discard spell off of it. Because it has to be Inquisition, which does counter everything. Is there an up-to-date brought back list? I guess we can also just like Persist next turn and then like get another Persist. But no, I don't think I haven't really like found. I've been brewing with it, but I haven't found a good new home for brought back. I like this draw a lot, where they like are pretty incentivized to counter this. They didn't counter it. I mean, they might not have a counter spell, right? mean, that pause, it really feels like they do. But if they have a counterspell, we just get Persist off of Tutor next turn, so it's not, I don't think that like we really play around a counterspell that much by waiting. Yeah. Then we like kind of stop them from cracking their eyelet. They exile Ragavan. They dash Ragavan. It's interesting. Prismatic Ending. Mercy. Land. They have one card left in their hand. I wonder if they forgot about Profane Tutor. Inquisition, best draw. Oh, never mind. That's also like, geez, what a rip. What a rip. Oh no, the last card's Ragavan. What am I saying? Sorry, no, up to 2. Sorry. Ignore me. They put Fiery Islet into their graveyard. Get to make them discard Ragavan, sack the Darcy, draw a card, lose. Hell yeah. Okay, 1 game 2. We probably want the second Brutality. Maybe cut the third Tutor. A bit worried about losing to Ragavan. Isn't Dauthi premium? I don't think so. The card, I mean, maybe they slide out most of their bolts, but I don't think they're at a premium in this matchup, but no. The Pasture Brute Esper Solarless with Inverter. Is that something I'm still working on? I mean, most of those kinds of decks are probably better if they're playing Imperial Recruiter, and so like you probably want to be on Kiki Jiki's Guardian or something like that instead. Nice to have Prismatic Ending for their Ragavan. They also mold to 6. I think I said that actually. They have Force? Seems like they had Force if they're going to think about it. They just decided not to use it there. I think the life loss matters more than like the ability to draw another Concealed Courtyard. They get a Murktide? They are. I mean, if their hand is Force of Negation blue card, you know, they do go Hellbent. I mean, a 5/5 Murktide is still very big, but we have a lot of answers to Murktide Regent. Unmarked Grave, Vindicate, more Lilianas are all answers here because we have the Persist. Assuming that they have Force of Negation blue card, that's an out too. Let's go for Liliana here. Pretty easy decision, to be honest. Force pitching Flusterstorm. Now I would love for them to play a second creature into the dam. I don't love to see Iteration. It's like insane card here. They exile Counterspell, which means they're not getting a 2-for-1 here. I wonder if they like misclicked. Probably not, right? I don't think they have Spell Pierce, but we just like lose if they have it. I'll just play my Mire. So it's too much to ask to get a 2-for-1. They have 1 card left in their hand. We'll see if it's a Counterspell. Kind of flooding out a little bit. It is a Counterspell. They decide to draw 2 though instead of countering the ending. Makes sense. They keep a card on top too, which is scary. One of their cards is Darcy. Another one is Serra Visions. Right, Unmarked Grave off the top. Might be our last turn to do it. They do keep a card on top with Serra Visions. I mean, even a removal spell maybe buys us time. They shotgun Steven, so I guess we just have to assume their last card is Counterspell. But now, if we draw one land, we can cast Serra's Emissary. It gets countered, but then we have Persist for the following turn, I guess. Well, they've been keeping cards on top. Maybe we could draw Brutality, discard the Emissary, discard a counterspell, Persist. Oh, they have Murktide. Seems like we're gonna have. Yeah, so best draw is probably Brutality here because we can. They have to have counterspell as their last card, but we're not dead to one attack. The fetch land unfortunately puts us to 10, which is exactly lethal, so they get to counter the Serra's Emissary. I don't think we can just not cast it. They're not 100% to have counterspell here, but it's very, very likely the way they played it earlier. Yeah. Oh, it was Charm? I thought it was the actual counterspell, but exactly dead, very clear. It could be Force, yeah. Close game. Good match. Do we keep this? I think we do. I would not keep this on 7, but I think on 6. I don't want to go to 5. And we have 2 1-mana spells we can cast. If we draw 1 land, we have Unmarked Grave, Persist. I think a Collected Conjuring Mill Shell could work. Probably not. 4 mana is so much. Is Force of Negation Sideboard called out? Seems mad. I mean, there's so many Cascade. Like that seems to be like a common sentiment, is that Force of Negation is bad at the moment. I just don't really agree, to be honest. It just seems so important to have Force of Negation to be able to beat the Cascade decks, which are really prominent. Is Hammer on its way to best deck in Modern? The deck's very good. I don't know if I am close to calling it best deck, though. I wish you got Blood Crypt there. To Persist, though, can answer the Prism next turn if we want. We should have time. Are they gonna? They can't. I mean, I guess they could have Angel's Grace, but yeah, I don't think that they can really afford to Pact here. They probably just discard the Pact. Ian Fainted Pack, 5 months. Welcome back. Appreciate ya. Discard Unlife, so they must have another one. It's so hot in here. I'm a perspiring spike. Void Winter is also good against Cascade decks. I mean, I guess, but it's like. Seems like you know, very slow. Like where it's like you're usually getting out your big creatures as early as turn 3, right? So only having the ability to get, you know, Void Winter in by turn 3 just seems too slow. Shadrach Meshach, 12 months. Welcome back, buddy. Appreciate ya. I'm just gonna Liliana discard their spoils here. We might even be able to Prismatic Ending their Unlife and kill them. Hey Doom, how you doing? 1 year from Shadrach Meshach. How did Against Odds deck come top of the format? Well, I mean, Hammer Time had always been like a good and underplayed deck in my opinion, one that like really rewarded you for mastering it, and it also got a ton of huge upgrades from MH2 with Prismatic Ending the Bloom, I think. Let me just go attack and see what we draw. It got a ton of huge upgrades. Easy turn with from MH2 with Esper Sentinel and Urza Saga were both huge upgrades. I think one more card maybe. They don't have enough black mana to top deck ad nauseum, which is pretty good for us. Alright, so pretty easy turn. Just Unmarked Grave for another Archon, Unmarked Grave for another Rites, but not that it really should matter. Might even just be giving too much info here. Do I plan on playing the Hammer deck in the near future? Probably not. I don't usually just like to play decks just because I think they're good. I usually am playing decks like when I have an idea for like new deck building, new innovation that I've had for Modern. You know, ideas that I have or decks that I've built in the past and I'm continuing to work on. Those are usually the kind of decks I like to stream. Sometimes I just play decks because I want to, but usually it's Usually it's because I'm trying to like build good decks. I want that to stay the priority for the stream. Prismatic Ending is not too bad against them. I think I want to play like 3 copies. We also have Vindicate as kind of the slot. I think I'll play like 1 Profane Tutor because Profane Tutor Chalice is a bit of a nombo. Yeah, Shadow Spear good too. We can keep this. I like that we can Vindicate a Leyline of Sanctity. Profane Tutor, a card I would keep inside or move out. I like Profane Tutor in this deck. Again, so like this deck needs some kind of consistency to like I really do think just Archon, Unmarked Grave, Persist, it's just gonna be a bit too inconsistent. But if you play the tutors, like on turn 4, your tutor comes off suspend, and then you can go Unmarked Grave, Persist. I think it's obviously the worst card in the deck, but gives you the consistency that this deck needs. And I think it's the best option for that. The other options are like Cruel Tutor, Knight's Whisper, which doesn't give you selection. I think that I think the Profane Tutors are, you know, again, not easily the worst card in the deck, but you know, they fill the role and you want to play them. Voidwalker not good versus. Oh man, Voidwalker is nuts against their deck. I hadn't really thought about that. Wow, yeah, Voidwalker is crazy in this matchup. Yeah, I'm not gonna put Grim Tutor in my deck, I think. What do you think is the best control deck at the moment? Blue-Red Murktide, to be honest, is a control deck. It's a control deck that's trying to leverage more of a tempo advantage than traditional card advantage. Probably that deck. Prismatic Ending, huh? But if that, you know, there's also like Jeskai Miracles is fine. Just like Chalice control decks are good with main deck Chalice. There's like a lot of reasonable options, I feel. Man, killing Leyline of Sanctity feels real good. It's like, it's kind of not that often that you get to do something like that in these kind of matchups. I think it really matters what we exile. Cantrip here. Is this meta okay for Ice Fang? I think Ice Fang's okay, yeah. Not that good though, just medium. I've been playing it in some decks and finding it to be fine. Why do we have Graveyard here? This isn't Graveyard Hate, this is a 1 mana cantrip. Don't think about Cling to Dust as Graveyard Hate. This is just a 1 mana cantrip that can provide card advantage in the late game. Pretty good draw. Yeah, the floor on Cling is just not very low. I think I'm gonna castle here. Okay, that's a good pickup. What do you feel about 2 islets and 6 fetches instead of 8 fetches and Blue-Red Murktide? Well, I've said this a few times, and I mean this, you know, if you see that I'm doing something, like I'm playing 8 fetches and I'm not playing islets, you should know that I think that it's the better way. So I understand that you're just kind of asking why I have 8 fetches is really what you mean, but if you could ask that instead of like, do you think that it's better to have 6 fetches, 2 islets? Because obviously I don't, because I'm not doing that. The reason I think I don't like to play fetch lands and Archmage's Charm in the same deck though, I think that you're wanting to hit more land drops, you're wanting to, you have more things to use with your mana, and so like islets sitting in play and dealing you a lot of damage when you have Archmage's Charm in your deck is bad. In my opinion, and I don't think that you want to play Islet if you're playing 4 Archmage's Charms. Played it. That's not my list. It's Yindrik has been the one doing that. TSB Yindrik. I guess we keep this on the draw against Laris, or on the play. I mean, on 6. Well, I gotta take the Voidwalker. Oh, the Cling to Dust is really good against us too. Yeah, I guess we'll take the Cling and we can Cling to Dust their Cling and just try to find an answer to Voidwalker. It's also true if we draw Unmarked Grave, then Persist gets in underneath it a bit. So, they must be a Shadow deck, right? If they're playing all these Dismembers. They're also playing Turok, which is a bit weird in Shadow. I think Banned Squirrelblade is worth building in paper. I think that deck is like a good metagame call, so I don't know if I could necessarily recommend it for building it in paper. You know, where if this deck is only going to be good as like a paper, it's only going to be good against like the Ragavan Darcy decks and like this Cascade metagame, and it's going to be bad if metagame shift. So just keep that in mind if you are going to build it, I guess. Well, if they're not gonna Voidwalker, I think that's fine. As Serra Immersions is the worst card in blue-red, is there any consideration to replace him with discard and more proactive shell? I really dislike. No, I don't think you want to play discard and counter spells in the same shell. And your mana gets really bad. Also, if you're splashing black, your mana is terrible. You either want to be black-red or blue-red. You don't want to splash color, in my opinion. They're also only getting swamped, so why do they have all these dismembers? Are they mono black? They must be mono black. It's probably that Hayashi list, right? What if you're also running Shadow? Well, that's just a totally different deck, right? Just, yeah, that Shadow decks are a different animal, but maybe, yeah. What about Prismatic Ending instead of Portable Hole? We are playing Prismatic Ending over Portable Hole now. We started off not doing that. We are doing that now. Is there any reason to overload Dam there, just in case of something? Is there any reason to? I don't think so. Just like a protection spell, I guess. I guess there's not too much cost to, although like leaving up mana, it has some value, and your opponent like thinking that you might have something they want to play around. Like they might play around push. Land is not a very good draw, although I guess this lets us at least cling to dust. Liliana's not too bad. Do I want to Edict? I guess so. The Bloodghast doesn't have haste here. I guess Luris is a bit of a concern. Maybe they'll just cast their Turok. Not that this puts us in particularly good shape, I guess. Probably siding out Liliana in this matchup, at least some numbers. I guess Turok's also like pretty hard for us to kill. Might cling to Dust Bloodghast. I feel like we don't have that much time though. They consider Ransack the Lab when building a deck. I didn't consider it, no. I think card's pretty underpowered. I think Profane Tutor is better. I guess you could play Profane Tutor. You could play Ransack in a different version, maybe mono black, but I think this is better. Card's a little underpowered. Why not Prismatic Turok? I'll give you 2 guesses, or just 1 guess. It's got protection from white, is the reason. Just gonna draw off Castle. We can Inquisition the Luris, which is nice. One big problem here, unfortunately, though, is that I only have 1 Dam in the main deck. And it's been used. Why are you losing this game? I enjoy yesterday's soccer finals. I don't watch soccer, but I think it was. I saw a lot of posts on Twitter. Seemed like a good match. Do I know of any competitive decks playing Wish? No, I think so. Alright, so Clean to Dust puts me up to 8. And then I can tutor it for Prismatic Ending this, and then draw Persist for turn. Seems like the play. Did to a discard spell. Second Dam in the main deck, obviously very good if we had one. Yeah, I saw like a lot of my people I follow on Twitter were posting about it. Everybody said the game was like really good. All right, one life, still not zero. Their Dauthi now represents a cling. Well, that means they're not attacking with it though. It's like I feel like there's no way they don't attack with the Voidwalker. We need to draw Persist. We've even discarded 2 Persists, but I think we have to get a Prismatic Ending here, right? I guess we could grab Liliana. We could get Liliana, and then we could draw Brutality. We could draw Prismatic Ending. We could draw Vindicate. Kill this Liliana, the Turok. Yeah, I guess that's like way more likely than us drawing Persist, but watch us draw Persist here. Okay, we didn't draw anything. Game two. So I want the rest of the dams, probably. Liliana seemed kind of weak. I guess we might have to play some copies, because Turok's a bit of a problem. The discard spells probably aren't that good either. Play like 5. Is Voidwalker good? They might cite out a lot of their removal. Voidwalker is kind of nice against Luris. Maybe I want the Lilianas. Voidwalker's nice against Bloodghast though too. Yeah, Voidwalker also blocks their Voidwalkers. Yeah, I don't know. Seems close. Maybe we'll play like 2 Lilianas, 4 discard spells. I guess we just want Inquisition, no Thoughtseize, and then just 2 copies of Dam. Yeah, 4 Dam's kind of a lot, right? With my threat count being so low, do I have an alternate win con? I mean, I've got Sideboard Voidwalkers, but people have brought this up a lot. Yes, we're low on win conditions. If you look at the metagame as a whole, there are very few decks that can permanently exile your Archon. Most decks that can even answer it are going to kill it with like Unholy Heat. And so if your opponent kills your Archon, you can just reanimate it again. Archon also wins the game really quickly and goes way over the top. I haven't felt like only 2 Archons in the main deck has been a problem. I'm not that worried about it. Turok as a beater for this deck. Well, is this deck that interested in a beater? Let's see the results of the past weekend's Modern Challenge. Do I think the metagame is settling? It's changing a little bit actually, where Hammer Time is emerging as a tier 1 deck. It's kind of I would say that maybe after this weekend I would consider Hammer Time to be tier 1. And so we'll see how the metagame evolves after that. Good thing, mister. Yeah, like I think Hammer was like good enough to be tier 1 going into this last weekend, but people just weren't playing it as much, but now they are playing it to the degree that it should be tier 1, I think. Want to deepen the tank on if they'd like to be on the play or the draw. How's Cling been performing? You could go -1 Cling quest Guile. I like the Cling to Dust. Cling is also like, I think like you will Unmarked Grave for Cling some amount of the time. I also really like the Serra's Emissary. I'm not sure that Kaya's Guile is even like good in the metagame, where like it's pretty bad against the Hammer Time decks. Could be fine. Keep this. Probably will Cling to Dust on turn 1. Yeah, I also 4-1'd with this deck over the weekend, off stream. I'm liking this deck. I think it's promising. All right, I'll be pretty surprised if my opponent has Fatal Push in. Not Guile, but the Walker. Not Guile, but the Kaya, the Planeswalker. They have Fatal Push in their deck. Unbelievable. I guess I just need to cut those though, or cut the Voidwalkers. Liliana's really good here though. Liliana is. We get to Edict the Voidwalker and potentially Persist the discard Archon Persist next turn. Thanks, Draven. That's cool that you bring that up, the smiling and the CFB picture, where it kind of feels like esports in general. I've had this opinion for a while. Esports, like everybody just like, this is every picture. It's all these like skinny kids with like these baggy jerseys, and they're like glaring. They're like, I'm a tough tough. You know, I play Fortnite and I'm really tough. You know, is the general vibe that like all the esports like profile pictures have. So I definitely wanted to go with more of a smile. You know what I mean? I think more smiles is good. But just every esports pose is just like this. I guess this is not a. My webcam's too small, but they're just crossed arms, glaring at the camera, skinny kid with a big old jersey. That's too big. So you're saying you aren't tough and don't play Fortnite. I guess I am saying that, huh? Gatekeeper. Well, that answers my Liliana, or answers my Archon. They also have Cling to Dust in their yard. Kind of scary. Kind of scary. I guess I can still discard an Archon, though. Because you can probably reanimate one before they get enough cards to double Cling to Dust. Profane Tutor is still really slow. Wish I could have cast it or suspended it this turn. Guess we could have also tried to play to Cling to Dust there, Cling to Dust. Plus this first. Yeah, I opened one of this. I opened some packs of MH2. I opened one of the sketch arts of Archon. I don't think all of the sketch arts look good, but I think that specifically the Archon does look really good. So here we can Cling to Dust, there Cling to Dust. Before we tutor for our Persist, or maybe I want to tutor for Unburial Rites. Probably do. Play around another removal spell. The sketch Murktide is fine too. Some of them are good. Some of them I don't think look very good. Like I got sketch Hierarchs too. I actually think they look not good at all, to be honest. Yeah, I also got the sketch Cauldron. I personally wasn't a fan of it, but obviously don't fault anybody for liking it. Does Shambling Vent have a place in the deck? I don't really think so. That card kind of sucks to put in your deck. You know what I mean? I'm just like never that happy to draw Shambling Vents. Like Castle Locthwain is our like we have these cards, the Castle Locthwains instead, which I think is pretty good. As that like, you know, utility mana sink for a land that this deck does want some amount of. I think I still like one Brutality. They left in Fatal Push. Should I just cut my Voidwalkers so their Fatal Pushes are just dead cards? I guess so. I'm a bit worried about them being able to exile all my Archons, but I think we'll be okay. Maybe we'll play one Emissary, I guess. Emissary is like probably just fine to have an extra reanimation target. And play the second Brutality too. Yeah, if they're gonna leave him push, we just shouldn't have Voidwalker. Just make them have like 4 dead cards, I guess. Third dam on the draw, maybe. I don't want a second dam in the main deck. Keep this. Index with Gaia-Drone. I like Gaia-Drone. I mean, I might just try it out. The thing is, it's like I feel like Grixis needs like one more card that really wants you to push you into playing Grixis, but I don't know. Maybe I'm down to try it. Any thoughts on trying Counterbalance Brainstone out? Well, I haven't tried it, but I think that it's my opinion that Brainstone is not a good enabler for Counterbalance. Where it's you have you're spending 3 mana to like try to set up for your Counterbalance one time. In my opinion, that's just not something I'm that interested in. I do not think Brainstone is a good enabler for Counterbalance. I could be wrong, but I just like you only get to use it once. I understand you can Lurrus, but that's also like so mana intensive. It's just so much mana. Yeah, we have Prismatic Ending for this. I think I'm just gonna suspend Tutor here. Timeless Dragon seems like a reasonable card in the deck. Why do I agree with that? Why am I like being persuaded about Timeless Dragon? I unironically kind of am being like kind of down. I'm just kind of down to try Timeless Dragon. How did this happen? Why would Timeless Dragon be good in the deck? Good question too. I guess if they have a land for Lurrus, we're kind of... Yeah, I guess I don't want a Brutality, just like Lurrus's. If they have land, Lurrus, Spellbomb, we're in bad shape. Yeah, no, I do actually think that it's fine. I don't know how good it is, or how good I think it is. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab Liliana off the tutor. Yeah, I don't think we're trying to persist Timeless Dragon, but it's like another unmarked grave target, right? So we could cut like the Cling to Dust for a Timeless Dragon. I'm kind of just down to try it. Yeah, we're not gonna like persist it, but you just like Unmarked Grave for some value. Even if you get in play looking at a 5/5 flyer with no protection. What's the mana value on it? What's the mana value on it? Is the mana value 4 or is it 0? Because if it's 0, I'm not that into because of Prismatic Ending, but if it's 4, it dodges Lightning Bolt and Prismatic Ending. It's CMC 5, it dodges Push then too. Or to Eternalize. Well, sorry, so not the CMC, like, what is the act? Can it be Prismatic Ending for 0? Because I always forget how that works. I'm discarding Vindicate. And Vindicate the Spellbomb. Maybe I should discard a Dam. Sure. The token is 0 CMC, okay. Yeah, it's discarded to Lily too. Yeah, it seems kind of fine. I mean, casting for 5 mana, like the card does dodge like everything. Maybe I shouldn't have plus Liliana, actually. Or just not supposed to plus. Yeah, it's weird because doesn't Scarab God copy the mana value? They have 2 Cling to Dust in their hand. Golly. I'm down to Eternal Dragon though. I'm down to I mean the Cling to Dust. I think they kind of serve a similar role where you just have like one kind of value unmarked grave target when you don't have your all these Cling to Dusts. I mean, maybe we can get our opponent to tap out and we'll draw Persist. But then they just have the Edict guy in their hand. This deck is good, I think. Seems like a worse version of the Rakdos deck, maybe. Okay, that can answer the Gatekeeper. Okay, you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, it's based on Embalm instead of Eternalize. I got it. Makes sense. But it doesn't make that much sense, you know. Yeah, Clean to Dust is really good. I mean, I'm not opposed to playing the Clean to Dust, but if we add the Eternal Dragon, it definitely feels like that's the card we need to cut. What about the legendary 4/4 Dragon with Flash instead of Eternal Dragon? I don't know what card you're talking about, but I mean, does it like can we unmark Grave for value for that card? Yeah, Profane Tutor would be like Profane Tutor would be too good at Suspend 1, I think. I was thinking about that the other day. That is my opinion. Interesting draw. Oh wait, that's I got the wrong dragon. It's okay. It's Timeless Dragon. Got a bit backwards, I guess. So we just need to tutor up Cling to Dust, right? Because they're just gonna hold up their Clings forever, but then they just have two. Pretty sure we can't win. I guess we could just tutor up Damn. Or probably not. That's probably not a winning line. Why not just draw an extra card, huh? Yeah, they should have done that pre-combat. I guess I'm just gonna tutor up Damn, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. Need him to draw a million Inquisitions, and then we can maybe draw a Cling to Dust. Damn also makes the Profane Tutors a bit better, right? This is like a pretty good tutor target. We're dead. Okay, so back-to-back 3/2s. Not too bad for a list that we're still figuring out. Let's try the Timeless Dragon. Why do I have it set at quantity? Okay, and it's not letting me open this either. Weird. Guess we'll just never open the chest.